Okay, good morning everybody. This video is being made on June 15th, 2014, and it's going to take me a second here to prop this up. I apologize for my appearance, but I just woke up a couple hours ago and still haven't gotten dressed, about an hour ago. Title this video, Keep It Private Until After What I Predict Comes True, if it does. Title this video, Learning Disabled Woman Predicts Social Services, Methods and Tactics, Gang Stalking, ? I'm in San Diego, California, and my name is Leslie Williams. The statements I'm making in this video camera are also being tape recorded on a running recording tape recorder as I speak. This is the microphone. The reason why I'm making this video is in order to do actually at least three separate things. One, predict what could happen concerning my social services Medi-Cal benefits. Okay. The second is to illustrate to the public the fact that I am predicting some of the methodologies that could, might, or will be used in order to take it and at least keep it taken for at least 1 to 3 months. Okay. From social services, health and human services off of Ruffin Road, or any other affiliated branch, whether it be from Sacramento, judge, social worker, or caseworker. The third is to basically give some descriptions in this video that will help the public research the descriptions so they can see that everything that I say in this video, okay, is designed so you can investigate my statements in order to be able to create a holistic pictorial representation in your mind, so then you can conclude for yourself if I am telling the truth, or at least if I have probable cause to be making these statements in the first place. I am in San Diego, California, and my name is Leslie Williams. I live in La Jolla. And what I'm going to do right now, in order to be able to prove in this video, and for the sake of the tape recorder that is also recording my statements, I have to prove the date and time, so I can show if what I predict comes true. It'll show that I predicted it before the events transpire. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a feature in this phone's tools menu. It's a feature called the voice command. It enables the phone to state the date electronically. I'm going to have to do it twice, once for the video camera and then once for the tape recorder. I'm going to do that right now.
Say a command. June 15th, Sunday, 9:17 a.m.
Okay.
Say a command.
And I'm going to...
June 15th, Sunday, 9:17 a.m. Say a command. June 15th, Sunday, 9:17 a.m.
Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show the video camera the actual icon picture of the phone so they can see the date and time. As you can see, it's June 15, 2014 at 9:08 a.m. Oh, I'm sorry, at 9:18 a.m. Now, again, what I do in reference to, you might think to yourself, why am I talking? Why am I making this video? And what is the meaning behind what I have already said? I am what is known as an organized stalking, gang stalking, targeted individual. I have been suffering from this criminal reality as a result of it happening openly towards me and practically every single aspect of my life since 2001. Now, I said openly since 2001. That's right, and I have experienced it in multiple states. That's right. Now remember what I said in this video so far. You can take every description that I've stated in this video and the statements that I will make in this video and cross-reference it to organized stalking and or gang stalking at Google and or YouTube. Now, case in point, you can go to Google and YouTube right now. Well, you can go to Google. You'll probably be able to find something at YouTube as well by typing in organized stalking and or gang stalking in social services and then social services workers. And look at the amount of Google generated responses you come up with and then what is being described in the information that comes up. Case in point, possible legal court complaints, blogs, YouTube videos, petitions, PDF files, anything that journalists might have covered concerning this criminal reality. Organized stalking and gang stalking has been covered on the local news. It's been covered on the national radio shows. It's been covered on it's been covered on national radio shows, local news broadcasts, and even a national TV show. What I'm about ready to play you right now is the literal audio, okay, of a YouTube video that you can go and watch for yourself of a gang stalking target being covered on the news concerning him being gang stalked in Santa Cruz County in Santa Cruz, California. Santa Cruz County is right next door to San Diego County. Okay, you can go to YouTube and watch this gang stalking target being covered on the news by going to YouTube and typing in gang stalking bullying on steroids. And the reason why I decided to play you this is because it's germane to not only proven to you that gang stalking has been covered on the news, but also also the fact that a couple things that are mentioned in this, I have audio proof, undisputable audio proof, which I will even include as well in this video, that correlates to at least one of the things that this woman mentions, one of the TV reporters mentions concerning what can happen against an organized stalking, gang stalking target. And I'm also making a sidebar prediction. I'm hiking right now in California. This hiking area that I'm at right now, I've been at since late October 2012, and again, today's date is June 15th. I'm sorry, I forgot today's date. Yeah, June 15th, 2014. I've been hiking at this location since these aforementioned, just described, calendar months and years. As a result of me even being gang stalked at this area, what I do in order to prove this gang stalking is happening towards me, because gang stalking is very hard to prove, is I make prediction video files, audio files, email files, and I'll even make statements in blogs, okay? And even when I feel that it's appropriate, in online police reports that I will make. Now, and then if what I predict comes true after the fact, it'll show that this criminality is happening to me. Now, you might think to yourself, well, if somebody predicts something and then it happens, that's maybe just coincidence. If it happens more than once, then you might start turning your head and maybe taking a little bit of special notice. But if it happens over 800 times, anybody that's got the ability to at least engage in common sense would be able to accurately deliberate and conclude that this criminal expedition is actually happening to me. And then you can say to yourself, why won't the San Diego Police Department file one police report concerning it? Why won't the San Diego District Attorney's Office investigate it? And why won't the State Attorney's Office investigate it? I am in San Diego, California, and my name is Leslie Williams. I live in La Jolla. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I am not mentally ill, and the reason why I state that is because labeling a target as being mentally ill is a methodology of organized stalking and gang stalking, and the individuals who have the power positions in the community to not only perpetrate these criminal realities against the target, but also label them as being mentally ill are, but not limited to, police officers, okay, who can petition a target in a county mental health or an area neighborhood hospital psychiatric floor. Doctors are also involved in these expeditions. Police officers, fire department EMS, fire department personnel, judges, doctors, lawyers, police officers, social services workers, social securities workers. It's organized crime in the system that is operating in the system using their employment descriptions to perpetrate these criminal realities, and they are also connected to organized crime that is in the community. And as a result of these individuals having the power positions and the employment descriptions that they have, excuse me, they take their employment descriptions and utilize them in order to influence community members and groups to engage in organized stalking and gang stalking towards the selected targeted individual, whether or not these individuals who are being solicited to participate in it are aware that what they're doing is gang stalking or not. In other words, they can get anybody and everybody involved in these campaigns pertaining to how anybody can be used for them. Go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." without the individuals who are being solicited to do specific things towards the target, without them even knowing that what they're factually doing is gang stalking, which means that they could get neighbors on board in these expeditions. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fly right into showing you the audio of that YouTube video, Gang Stalking Bullying on Steroids.
This story on our website, kcba.com. Due to not police call it bullying on steroids. We're talking about gang stalking, but it actually has nothing to do with the gangs that you first think of. Southern Coast News reporter Candace Lynn learned more about the trend and how it's getting more dangerous because of the internet. It makes me so afraid.
Lawrence Gazino claims his neighbors are gang stalking him because he plays loud music late at night and is outspoken. He said for the last year and a half he's been systematically followed by a group of people. At one point he said they climbed on his roof to harass him. Gazino said he's developed a paranoia that's devastated his relationships with friends and, worst of all, family.
That's the worst part of it. If it was me, I would take action.
Santa Cruz Police Lieutenant Larry Richards said police are becoming more aware of gang stalking because of cyberbullying. But what is gang stalking? Basically, the victims could be driving their car or talking on their phones or walking the streets when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them. Richards said gang stalking is nothing new, but new technology is making it more common.
Gang stalking itself, they have elevated themselves to technology. So this is something that's been going on before the age of Facebook, Twitter, those other social websites. They just now have gone into those areas.
Gazino said he's proof that the problem isn't just online and that it can hit too close to home, a home he plans on leaving because of gang stalking.
I want to be able to go to the tennis course and play tennis or play ping pong without people following us everywhere. It's just nerve-wracking.
I'm Candace Wen in Salinas, your Central Coast News.
If found guilty of gang stalking, the person may face criminal, conspiracy, and stalking charges, all of which are felony charges in California.
Okay, now, the reason why I mentioned neighbors is because, again, like I've already mentioned, these individuals will do anything and everything in order to use anybody to assist them in what they want to bring about against an organized stalking, gang stalking targeted individual. Including, like right now, you see me in a tent making this video. I am making this video in a tent because I'm homeless. And I'm homeless because my rent was literally stolen out of the mail. Mail that was mailed, certified mail return receipt. Now you can go to Google right now and type in organized stalking and or gang stalking and postal workers. Okay? Okay? And then also Google organized stalking or gang stalking and mail theft and mail delayment. You can also go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and how they create homelessness of targeted individuals. I've been gang stalked to at least 4 apartments where they drove me crazy night and day. I never got a moment's worth of peace at all, literally, in these 4 mentioned apartments. Okay, my apartment was broken into, furniture was moved around, things were stolen and then replaced, and a bunch of other things that have happened in these apartments. I've been gang stalked to motel rooms, okay, and then they eventually create the homelessness of you. Google organized stalking or gang stalking in landlords and or property owners. Go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and neighbors, homeless people, and how they are brought also on board in these expeditions against the targeted individual. Now, so I just gave up on it and said, why pay a first month's rent, last month's rent, security deposit, the cost of getting utilities hooked up, the cost that it costs to move, okay, to just get the apartment and then lose it. Okay? Why go through all that money, thousands and thousands of dollars, which I went through as a result of being a victim of this crime and surviving it and exposing it. I'm in San Diego, California. Now, creating homelessness of the targeted individual is one of the desired effects they want the targeted individual to live in, so they can then turn around and attempt to, but not limited to, take syndicated probate control of the target in order to put them in, but not limited to, a syndicated run, organized crime, group home, or other environment that they run and own. That's right, and one of these group homes can house anywhere between 7 to 11 different clients. They then will either co-opt the targeted individual's finances, like their Social Security, and or apply for federal, state, and local funds in their name, and the gang stalking continues in these homes. Now, they gain this probate control by claiming the targeted individual is crazy because they're claiming they're being gang stalked, okay, or stalked, while they're homeless. And then they use the premise that we feel that and they will also try and claim that the target individual is a threat to themselves or others. That's right. And they do this in order to take the illegal syndicated probate control in order to treat the target individual as a straw person. That's right. Money off of every angle. That's all it's about. And for human trafficking. Now, again, remember, everything that I've stated can be Googled and cross-referenced to organized stalking and gang stalking. Now, social services workers play a huge role in organized stalking expeditions because let's look at, for 1 minute, what social services workers do. Well, when a targeted individual runs to churches, charities for help, okay, they will also run to social services and maybe even Social Security for help. That's right, in reference to applying for benefits. Now, if human trafficking and the simple fact that the targeted individual, whether they become aware that what's happening to them or not is gang stalking, their whole goal is to survive what is happening to them. And everybody's got to eat, everybody's got to be able to have some type of at least minimal amount of money in order to buy a tent, sleeping bags, clothes, you know, so they can wear to keep themselves safe from the elements. Social services workers are basically used for many different things. To accumulate documentation about the targeted individual's living situation, homelessness. Okay, they are also used to take benefits away from the target by using clever maneuvers and schemes using their employment descriptions to do it. They will develop these schemes and maneuvers to, but not limited to, make it appear that they got a legitimate appearing reason to take the target individual off of services or keep them off of it, and including by trying to imply that the target individual has committed fraud. Now, hang on a second. Now, what I am doing in this video is to expose what is currently happening towards me concerning social services, because in order to human traffic a target, or in order to create such bad destitution, no food stamps, no insurance, the target individual becomes more destitute in the destitution they are already in while trying to survive these crimes. Their whole goal is to create as much documentation as they can over time, okay? One, they want to show a long extended period of the homelessness, okay? Anywhere between 1 and 5 years, if not more, okay? That's right. Because the targeted individual is also being exploited in between if they can do it. Sexually, monetarily, insurance-wise, that's right. And they want to also be able to accumulate police reports and doctor reports in between this time period. They stage events against the targeted individual when the targeted individual is out and about in the community, at businesses, transportation services, walking routes, travel routes. And if you don't believe me, I want you to listen to this. On September 17, 2013, I was at this location. Well, I've been at this location ever since October 2012. That night, on September 17, 2013, I called a national radio show, Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis, because he was covering gang stalking. You can go to Google and YouTube and type in Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis in order to be able to see and listen through his archives that I was on his show that night, talking about being gang stalked and mentioning some of the things that were happening to me. Now, earlier in this video, I stated that I got over 800 pieces of evidence pertaining to me being gang stalked. And what does that mean? Right now in my physical possession, I have over 800 separate audio files that show individuals getting around me and being around me, constantly repeating the following in the following way that I describe. Gang stalk, oh my God. Gang stalker, gang stalking, oh my God. Gang stalk, crazy, gang stalk, oh my God. Gang stalk, weird, oh my God. Gang stalk, in that way, along with some other descriptive words that have been said around me at multiple different locations over a 2.5-year time period. Now, think about this. If you left your home in the morning, and just to prove that this is abnormal, say if you went to Walmart and bought a tape recorder and then bought a connected, okay, stereo and or mono wire that will connect to a microphone, and then I put the tape recorder in a pouch attached to your undergarments on your chest, and then clip the microphone on your undershirt that is directly below your chin. Okay, and then you decide to press record with full powered batteries and more than enough internal memory, and then made a statement before you left your home. Let's see if anybody says these types of words and phrases along any of your routes for the day. You then leave your home and go to, say, 5 to 7 different places: post offices, banks, restaurants, movie theaters, grocery stores, libraries, and then you catch these words being said around you in the same exact identical way, non-stop, continuously, everywhere you go, and the tape recorder catches it. Then that should tell you that this is not only peculiar behavior, but that it's intentionally being done deliberately as a result of you being surveilled, monitored, and stalked in real time. That's right. Now, if you have over 800 separate audio files of these words and phrases being said around you in the same exact identical way everywhere you go every single day, then anybody that's got the ability to engage in at least common sense would be able to deliberate, okay, that a crime is happening to you as a result of you being surveilled, monitored, tracked, and stalked. That's right. Now, why are they getting around me and repeating these words and phrases? Because it's called sensitization methods, and you can go to Google and type in sensitization methods and the direct conversation method and repeating words and phrases around the organized stalking, gang stalking, targeted individual in order to be able to see that that is a methodology of these expeditions. Why they're doing it with me, and they're doing it against other organized stalking, gang stalking, targeted individuals. In fact, I found one target individual made a blog. I think the blog name is Never Ending WordPress, and that's a target individual from another country talking about how people are getting around him or her. Excuse me, about how that target individual is mentioning in the blog about how people are getting around him. I don't know if it's a him or her, and repeating the word crazy around them. Okay, so what they're doing, okay, what they do is sensitize the target to a physical gesture, a word or phrase, a sound, a color, and then constantly reintroduce what they've been sensitized to, a word, phrase, color, sound, okay, or a physical gesture. They will then repeat these things constantly around the targeted individual every day, nonstop, everywhere they go. This is done to overtly let them know that they're being gang stalked. And this is not the only thing that is brought about against an organized stalking, gang stalking, targeted individual. They can also be assaulted. I've been assaulted 3 times in San Diego. 2 of them were predicted in email files. That's right. And one of them was predicted in audio, and all of them were predicted in audio files, but 2 of them were predicted in email files right before they occurred, and the 3rd one was predicted in an audio file in the morning it occurred. Okay, in the morning of the day it occurred. Okay, and then 90 seconds before it occurred, and then 10 seconds before it occurred. Okay, now you can go to YouTube right now and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. That's me being assaulted on an MTS bus on October 10, 2011. Then look in the description of that YouTube video. You will see additional information, and you will also see copied and pasted blogs that are in the description of that YouTube video. Now, when you click on these blogs that are attached into the description of that YouTube video, in one of the blogs there's an attached PDF link titled Assault 11. When you get into the blog and open it up, click on the PDF link that's attached in it that says Assault 11. Once you click on it, what will come up is an email file that was printed and scanned the date it was printed the day it was made, okay, and then eventually scanned and put into the PDF form. Now that email literally shows that I predicted that I'd be assaulted either walking, riding my bike, or on public transportation. 11 days later, I was brutally assaulted on public transportation. Then go to Google and YouTube and type in learning disabled woman exposes how MTS assault video is altered. It was a staged assault, and that individual who assaulted me had harassed me on several occasions on the same bus route on prior dates and 5 minutes before the assault occurred, and that's why MTS only sent me a 2-minute video with no audio. That's right. Now, getting back to social services, in order to exploit a target and or to steer the target to environments that they can control, influence, including by using those additional places to acquire documentation about the target individual's homelessness, okay, like charities and churches, because the target individual, if they lose their food stamps, might run to a charity or a church or Salvation Army, who does take your name, okay, they do take your name, and they do take your they take your name and they take your information. Okay, now I got an appointment with a dentist on the 18th of this month because I got a tooth that's almost abscess. Now, the point I'm trying to make is this. On May 29, 2014, I went down to because I had a Medi-Cal, they sent me review papers, and I filled them out, and then I took them down there on May 29th, 2014. Now, when I went down there on May 29th, 2014, I left the papers that they had sent me with them. Now, right now, I'm looking on my phone for the month of May in reference to the calendar, so I can literally tell you, hurry up and tell you about this. May 29th occurred on a Thursday. I live in La Jolla. In order for me to leave La Jolla to get over to the San Diego Health and Human Services on 5055 Ruffin Road, I got to take multiple buses to get there, and it takes at least 2 hours at least to get there. Now, I got there on May 29th, which was a Thursday, 2014. I left the papers and told them and got the entire day's events on audio file, and I think I even took a video picture while I was in there. Now, you can also go to Google and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Social Services. You're going to see multiple, that's the key word there, multiple blogs and YouTube videos of me showing literally people being around me in the background repeating gang stalk, gang stalking, gang stalker, while other people are saying, oh my God, okay, and weird, okay, back to back. They'll use one person to say the oh my God and the word weird, and then another person saying gang stalk on multiple occasions, and I got the audio files and the video files to prove it. So just go to YouTube and Google and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking at Social Services, and understand there are multiple videos of me being at social services on separate dates going all the way back to 2012 proving this. Now I'm getting ready to show you right now that this methodology was caught happening here in La Jolla. Remember, I got 800 audio files of it happening in multiple cities within the county of San Diego over a 2-year period. 800 audio files of it happening around me everywhere I go. Okay? Now, so May 29, 2014, I'm in social services physically handing them the review papers. I left there on the 29th after handing them in. Friday was the 30th. Now, the 1st, okay, of June fell on a Sunday. Mark these dates down or review your own calendar. They sent me a notice in the mail, okay, that was dated June 1st, okay, which is a Sunday, stating that I had an interview on June 3rd, Tuesday, okay, at 7:45 a.m. in the morning. Even if I would have got that in the mail, okay, on time, I still wouldn't have been able to get to the interview on time. I guess I could have called them, but they know through the stalking of me and the surveillance of me that I only go to check my mail at least once every 2 weeks or once a month. Okay? They know it, and I'm going to tell you how I know they know it. Because every single time I have went to go check my mail, these aforementioned repeating words and phrases along my routes in the same exact identical way in which the way I've described has been caught on digital tape recorder on my way to the post office and coming back from it. Which meant that they marked down my regular routines in reference to how often I go to the post office. Okay, now I've already mentioned about how post employees and mail theft and mail delayment is a methodology of gang stalking. I've already proven to you I've been gang stalked to social services by mentioning to you that you can go to Google and YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman gang stalking caught at social services, Learning Disabled Woman exposes social services and gang stalking, or gang stalking and social services. And what you're listening for when you go to YouTube and Google And you'll get blogs as well, and some of the videos are in the blogs. You'll have to listen carefully for people in the background saying gang stalk and oh my god. Now if I got the same exact identical to a T verbal harassment happening around me everywhere I go every single day, it shows you that one collective mind is managing the same criminality everywhere I go. Social services, banks, universities, libraries, grocery stores, everywhere I go, transportation services, this hiking area, everywhere I go. On September 17, 2013, I was at this hiking area. I was listening to Ground Zero practically every day. Okay, and on September 17, 2013, it comes on at 7 o'clock here in San Diego. And you can go to Google and YouTube and type in Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis. You can go to Google and type that in, and then as a result of you going to his website, you'll clearly be able to see that you can listen to his archives in reference to that date's show. And you will literally be able to hear me being on that show. And you'll hear me saying that individuals are getting along all my routes and at this hiking area, repeating gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalk. Oh my god, we're crazy at this hiking area, okay, and along all my routes. By listening to that archive show. I was literally on a national radio show, and it's not the only time I've been on that national radio show. Now, mark this date down, September 17, 2013. I was on that national radio show stating what was happening to me in part. And in part means what I'm exposing right now in this video is not the only thing that is happening to me. Now, this event that you're about ready to hear right now happened almost 2 months and 10 days later on a sidewalk by an individual that was directly connected to the individuals that they had placed up, okay, at the hiking area 150 feet away, the individuals that I was exposing on September 17, 2013 on this national radio show. And I can prove it. Now, this is the audio of an event that took place towards me on Thanksgiving Day. Write down these dates. September 17th, 2013 is the day I was on the national radio show. And then go to your calendar and type and look at what date Thanksgiving Day fell on, November 28, 2013. And then look at the amount of distance of time between September 17, 2013 and November 28, 2013. You'll clearly be able to see that Thanksgiving Day occurred after September 17, 2013. And I can prove undeniably that this event occurred on Thanksgiving Day. What you're about ready to hear is a segment of that event that was caught on a tape recorder as it was transpiring. Okay? 2 individuals intentionally got along my route on a sidewalk as I was riding my bike. Now remember that email that I talked about concerning me predicting I'd be assaulted, concerning the MTS assault on the bus, stated I'd either be assaulted riding my bike, walking, or on public transportation. This threat of me being assaulted occurred on November 28, 2013 as I was riding my bike on a sidewalk. And there were 2 men. One of them was directly connected to the individuals that they had set up to hike 150 feet away in early November of 2012, and they finally moved out about 5 weeks ago. Okay, and today's date is June 15th, 2014. Now, one of the individuals was directly connected to that hiking area because he not only had harassed me yelling gang stalk practically every day and night, along with yelling other stuff, but he also had the audacity to walk by me at this hiking, right in front of my tent, okay, at this location on numerous occasions. He had also gaslighted me at, which is a term that describes gang stalking harassment, at Ross grocery store, on sidewalks, and at bus stops. Okay, now what you're about ready to hear right now is these individuals, one of them being connected to the hiking area that I was talking about concerning individuals at the hiking area 150 feet away on the Ground Zero show on September 17, 2013. Do you hear these guys say gang stalk together? Then one says gang stalking, and then that same one says gang of stalking, I'm going to F you up. You be the judge. Okay, now, another reason why they repeat words and phrases around the target individual that is intentionally designed to let the target individual know mentally that they're being gang stalked is in order to keep the organized stalking, gang stalking, harassment, okay, which is attached to, which is mentally attached and associated to numerous other types of crimes that have happened to the target, like brutal assaults, rapes, and a bunch of other stuff, okay? Now, the reason why they get around the target individual and constantly, intentionally repeat these words around the target individual is to keep the gang stalking experience and the victimization of what's happening to the target in their conscious forefront of their daily experiences, in order to keep them mentally preoccupied with the fact that the crime is happening to them. That's why they overload this target individual's senses by causing them to constantly see things that are being repeated, physical gestures, or words and phrases being repeated, or sounds, like specific ways of coughing. All these things can be Googled to gang stalking. Now, I'm going to play you one more audio file of me showing you the actual audio of an actual video of an event that took place on a Yucca Valley bus route Landers on December 10th, 2012. Almost one full complete year before this Thanksgiving event. You're going to hear males on this bus in Yucca Valley, which is 169 miles away from La Jolla. I left this area to go to Yucca Valley for 1 week and then came back. The distance between La Jolla, where I'm living, and Yucca Valley is 169 miles away. Okay? You're going to hear men on this bus say gang stalk and gang stalker, while other individuals are saying, oh my God, before and after it, and then a woman just flat out says gang stalking. Listen.
Well, look at that car right there. So cute. To the left, it just turned. Those little French cars. No. Cheese.
You first child? Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully my
Got my quick
only child.
I'll take the whole thing. The first one, the rock is going to hold it.
She's pretty good. She never cries.
I'm going to go hang it up in my,
She's already talking.
I'm going to take my American flag out. Little kind of flag. Take it out. I'm going to hang it in the window and I'm going to put it on the shelf. I wish I did even three. Oh, yeah. We'll get rich. Oh, yeah, that might work. No, it's American flag.
Alright, now I'm running out of video time right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna complete this video file. Earlier I showed you the audio of gang stalking bullying on steroids. You flat out heard that news reporters say that the victim can be driving their car, talking on their cell phone, or walking the street when a group of people try to systematically terrorize the target. Now, what you just heard concerning these two events, the one that occurred on Thanksgiving Day 2013 in La Jolla, and the other one that occurred in Yucca Valley, which is 169 miles away from San Diego County, where La Jolla is at. Okay, and all of the 800 audio files that compose time periods before the Thanksgiving event, right after the Thanksgiving event, the Yucca Valley, okay, gang stalking of me, which was caught on all audio files of the whole time duration while I was in Yucca Valley. That was just one itty bitty part of what occurred towards and around me in Yucca Valley when I went out there for 1 week. I was trying to connect with a other organized stalking, gang stalking target individual. It did not work out, so I came back, okay? Which I had planned on coming back anyways. The point I'm trying to say is that this method has been caught around me, happening everywhere I go. It was caught on a tape recorder being said by the North University San Diego Public Library branch manager and other employees and individuals coming in the library acting as patrons. It's been caught at the UCSD, SDSU, USD, Rouse Grocery Store, post offices, banks. In fact, go to Google, YouTube right now and type in "learning disabled woman catches gang stalking again at Arby's." Okay? Yeah, Jack in the Box, Rouse. Just do it, and you'll see that this criminal reality, and social services, and you'll see that this criminal reality has already been caught, and 0.001 of it has been uploaded to the internet already. That's right. Now, social services, what they have to do in order to try and keep benefits away from a target or take them off completely is by making it appear that they're doing it because of normal appearing reasons and excuses, like the target individual did not follow proper protocols in reference to reviews, giving the right amount of information on their application or review, or following up on appointment times. Okay, on May 29, 2014, when I went into social services to drop off the review for Medi-Cal, I then told them, they then said, well, if we need any more additional information, we will then set up a appointment for you. Now, that occurred on May 29, 2014, okay? So, I went to my post office 2 days ago, on Friday, which was June 13th, Friday the 13th, 2014, and I got a letter in the mail stating that I have an appointment for June 2nd, 2014. So let's take a look at this calendar-wise. On May 29th, 2014 is a Thursday, the day I went down there. Okay? Now, May 30th was a Friday. They would have had to mail that letter on the 30th concerning my appointment time for June 2nd. June 3rd, 2014, because of the simple fact that Friday was the 30th. They would have had to mail it on the 30th, okay? And then, let's see, that would have gave it a few hours on Saturday for it to be delivered. Sunday was the 1st. The 2nd was Monday. Now, that would have only given me either the Saturday to get it or the Monday. Now, remember what I said. I have multiple audio files of gang stalk being set around me every single time that I went to the post office. On my way to the bus stops, at the bus stops, on bus routes, getting to the post offices, and then at bus stops and bus routes coming back to La Jolla. On every single time I went to the post office, it even being said on occasion in the post office. And what am I trying to say? They get to know the regular routines of the targeted individuals so they can deliberate where to set up the crafted harassment around the target on a daily basis by getting people along my route to say gang stalking. So they got to know my regular routines over the last 2 years of how often I go to the post office. So since this same gang stalking method has been caught everywhere I go, including at social services and including on my way to the post office, they just knew that I don't go to the post office every single day or once a week. Sometimes once every 2 weeks, and then sometimes once a month. So what they did was they hurry up and send me an appointment letter within 2 days of me going, okay, knowing that I only go to the post office once every 2 weeks or once a month. They knew then I would miss, if they did this intentionally, they then knew that I would miss the appointment time and then take me off of Medi-Cal as a result of them saying that I didn't make my appointment. So let's see if that's what transpires as a result of me not getting my mail until last Friday, Friday the 13th of June, 2014. Okay? Now, why is this possibly being done? I gotta hurry up and say this because I only got a couple minutes left. If they take me off of Medi-Cal, I gotta then reapply for it, which means I gotta prove where I'm living. Because if you're homeless, you gotta prove you're homeless. I am preparing to move from this area, and they know it because I've been uploading videos stating that I'm preparing to move. I've been gang stalked to the new hiking areas that I've dropped property off at in the same aforementioned ways that I've described in reference to the evidence of me literally being able to prove that I've been gang stalked to the new hiking areas that I've left property at. So, if I move to these areas, okay, code word for legal purposes, BCOBS and RR, they know that these places could possibly be governmentally controlled. I had to say that for legal and strategic purposes. I'm aware you don't understand what it means, but trust me. Now, If I have to prove where I'm living at once I have to move from here, okay, then they can say, well, Miss Williams is staying in a place she shouldn't be staying at, and then cause me to move from there. And I'd even have to prove it to the state. Okay, see what I'm saying? If anything happens that causes me to move from GILL times 2, I'm a woman, not a man, HA location, which is a code word that describes this location, which is mentioned in an email file, an email prediction. If I have to move before this mess is corrected from Medi-Cal in reference to a review or having to reapply for it, it will be directly connected to this organized gang stalking expedition. If any problems happen down at social services, any problems, complaints, harassment, arrest, me being accused of anything like acting inappropriate, it will be gang stalking related. Make no mistake about it. It's been caught on numerous times at social services on video and audio. If any event transpires at this hiking area, it will be directly connected to gang stalking. I don't care who plays a role in it. Neighbors, kids, teenagers, property owner, homeless people, anybody. It will be directly connected to gang stalking. Staged events are called street theaters and gang stalking expeditions, and it can be Googled. So, let's see what transpires because of this Medi-Cal review. If they try and say that I committed fraud by getting this tooth worked, and they'll try and say that, well, you weren't covered when the tooth was being fixed, so you committed fraud, okay? I don't know how they might try and do that, but they just might try, so I'm throwing it out there just in case. That's right, because these filthy sewer rat criminal whores will do anything, literally, okay, to make it appear what's happening to a target is the target's own fault and or because of normal appearing reasons. Understand, I've been a victim of this crime since 2001. I know exactly what I'm talking about, literally. I'm in San Diego, California. Keep this video private until anything that happens in this video comes true. And we're going to see what happens down at social services on Monday on the 16th of June 2014 as a result of me going down there to try and fix this situation. I am in San Diego, California, and my name is Leslie Williams. Now, they're still getting around me and saying gang stalking along all my routes. They're not just doing it nowhere near as frequent and as much. They went back to the physical gestures. Go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman catches gang stalker admitting sent to harass, read comments, which means look in the description of that YouTube video. I apologize for talking fast, but I had to hurry up and condense these last details in because the video file is about to run out. This is a video prediction. It's also a video for evidence-wise. Keep this video private until after this situation is either transpired or been corrected. I make these videos to inform, to expose the truth, and to predict what might occur before it happens in order to be able to prove that this criminal reality is being managed covertly and brought about through clever means. I do appreciate you listening, and the only thing I hope and pray for, well, the only thing I ask is for you to please say a prayer concerning what's happening to me and my safety. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.